Hello guys, Fru here. Welcome to today's relevant read. So guys, today's read is gonna be a very interesting article. It's a short article that caught my attention, and it talks about pictures and your CV. So should you put a photo on your CV? Should you put a photo on your CV? So this could be CV or resume, or one and the same, curriculum vitae or resume. All right, guys. So this is something you might be wondering, especially in technology. If you're currently thinking about this and you're trying to apply for jobs, you might have heard of people doing it, or you might be considering doing it yourself, or you might have done it already, right? So what this article does, it goes through some arguments or some points for us whether or not you should put your picture on your resume. So I thought it's gonna be very fascinating for us to take a look at it, to break it down, and to hopefully get some insights out of it. As usual, I'm gonna leave a link to the article in the description below. So guys, definitely check it out for yourself. If you're currently in the job market, you know somebody who might be in the job market, you definitely want to check it out for yourself. All right, guys. So it's a straightforward read. I'm gonna skip through a lot of the things that it talked about. One of the things that it really starts, the point that it mentions, is that we live in a very visual world, right? And it's true, right? With Instagram, with Snapchat and WhatsApp and messaging, everybody's sending images now, right? In the past, people used to write or text. Today, you want to send an image, you want to send a video. And so everything is very visual. And it's with this backdrop where we're seeing that a lot of people, when they look at the candidate, they kind of want to put a face to that person. They kind of want to say, who is this person? All right. And so that's where this is really coming from. So you can go ahead and read this. I wouldn't want to strain you guys by reading every single thing in here. I think leaving the link to this article would definitely help. But one of the things that I want to call out here is the positive, right? Today every company almost posts, most companies, right, just post their resumes online, right? So, and we live in a very visual world, and let me share my example here. For myself, I do use a bio fm.Fru Louis, which kind of consolidates my social media and such. And if you go on any platform, so let's take Instagram for LinkedIn for example. All right, you're gonna see a profile picture of me. I change this over the time, right? If you go to which one, well, just even the bio fm, you got a picture of me, right? If you go to Instagram, you got pictures of me. All right, guys. So everywhere there is a picture. So if a recruiter or if a company really wants to put a face to me, right, it's very easy to do. As you can see, what I've done is I have a consistent picture, professional looking, that I use across the platforms, but that's just me, right? So what makes this different for me using pictures on everywhere on social media, which is visible to anybody who cares to search for it, and putting it on a resume. So a lot of that question of whether you should have a picture on a resume really boils down to just culture, or it just boils down to, are you conservative, or are you creative enough to, or do you want to be creative when applying for jobs? There are some people that would just want to be very conservative. They would say, well, we've never ever put pictures on resumes, and that's how I grew up, and I'm going to continue with that regardless of what other people think, right? Whereas there are people that are emerging now, and they're seeing all the new trends coming out, and they're looking to put their pictures and their faces on their resumes. All right, guys. So for me, I personally have it, and something that I would definitely be considering in the future. What was fascinating to me, and I did a quick check around this, was in LinkedIn there is a feature that allows you, and I'm just opening up here, bear with me, it's a little bit slow today, that allows you to be able to go into LinkedIn and download your resume. So you can come into more on your LinkedIn profile, and you can save your resume as a PDF, right? And so usually before, people would have to keep resumes up to date and write the resumes, and it could get very daunting. So what you can do is, if your LinkedIn profile is always up to date, right, you can come in there and just download the PDF. So if a recruiter says, well, can you send me the latest version of your resume, instead of having to go rewrite something from scratch, you can just download what you have on LinkedIn and share it with them. So I just thought this was an interesting feature to mention. But guess what? Even though LinkedIn has my picture, my profile picture, they don't have it here. So I just thought that was kind of interesting to note as well. All right, and I'm sure the design could be better. I'm sure LinkedIn can do better with this design. But nonetheless, it's still a resume and over 5 pages, and I think somebody will still be able to read that. All right, so let's go back to the topic at hand and continue with that. So guys, definitely read this piece in terms of, we live in a very visual world, which is making, the fact that pictures should be on resume almost normal, right? I think we're getting to that point where it's normal. But I'm sure you can imagine, guys, as with this kind of topics, that there'll always be drawbacks as well, right? If it's a question, then there has to be two sides to that question, and so in this case, there are also drawbacks, and this piece talks about it a little bit, right? And some of those drawbacks, or the top argument, of course, let me zoom in here, which people would definitely want to think about it, is it could lead to a possibility for discrimination. All right, discrimination for gender, discrimination for looks, discrimination for race, discrimination for anything you can think about, right? So somebody might just look at your face and be like, well, I don't really like this face around me, maybe you have a face like mine that might not be very likable, or that might be very likable, I don't know, depending on how you look at it. And somebody looks at it and say, well, I don't want to work with this person, right? That'll be a very unfortunate situation, but it could be a reality, right? So that could really be one of the drawbacks for people, or that you might have to put at the back of your mind if you're considering putting a picture on your resume, right? And then the second piece, of course, is that needs more due diligence on your part to make sure that, and I think it says it here, using a photo may also work against you if you don't use a professional shot, right? So if you're really going to go and put a picture on your resume, guys, as you can imagine, your resume is a professional document, right? This is not gonna be a picture of you just walking down the road or in your basement to go on your resume, guys. If you do that, then it's gonna convey the kind of message that you really want to convey. But for me, I believe that if you're gonna do that, you want to definitely take the time to take a professional picture, not just from your smartphone, unless you don't have that, right? But if you can afford, get a professional photographer with good lighting, with to be able to take a picture for you. I think that will go a long way. All right, so that would be situations where, if you're not careful, right, a picture can work against you. But again, this point is very interesting, right? Because we can talk the reasons for, or we can talk the reasons are against. But the truth is that, right, guys, if people really want to see your picture, right, they will see your picture, right? And this is what it talks about here. In fact, most career experts say having an image on your LinkedIn profile is an absolute must, right? So most career experts expect that if they come on LinkedIn and they're looking at your profile, they should see a picture somewhere there, right? It's a must. And if that's a must, to see a picture on your LinkedIn, and I always talk about a LinkedIn just being I'll put it the other way. A resume is just an extension of your LinkedIn. Before, people used to say LinkedIn is an extension of your resume. I think that has changed now. To me, LinkedIn is way more important than even a physical resume. So a resume is an extension of your LinkedIn. And if people expect pictures on your LinkedIn, right, this is one of my pictures that I have. I can definitely change this with time and context, but if they expect that on your LinkedIn, then it shouldn't be surprising for them to see it on your resume as well. And then the article kind of goes into how to choose a photo for your CV. I thought that was very interesting. Now there is a link in this article that I really like, and just bear with me. So it talks about how to choose it, guys, so make sure you check that. Of course, good lighting, you want to get a good solid posture, professional looking, right? Sometimes I switch between these pictures. I've kind of gone with grayscale, black and white, but sometimes I kind of change it depending on the kind of look. All right, so that's how to choose, how to insert the resume picture in your resume. You can go here to ResumeMonk. I haven't used this site, but I'm happy that it was provided to look at templates and be able to create CVs based on that. So if you've been kind of thinking of where to go to look at good designs, I'm sure this might be a good site for you to check out. These are some examples of professionals with people with pictures on your resumes. And to be honest, I don't really see why this could be a negative, guys. So again, I don't really see why that could be a negative. All right, so going back to the article, the summary is really what I want to call out, right? The summary is really what I want to call her. At the end of the day, guys, at the end of the day, you know, whether or not you choose to put your picture on the resume or not, right? Let me zoom in here for a second. So at the end of the day, right, there's advice, you know, for to do or not to do, but whether you choose to put it on your resume really boils down to who you are and your characteristics, right? And you know, if you're the type that puts your picture on the resume, then that's the information you're conveying. And if you're the type that don't put your picture on the resume, again, that's the information you're conveying. And whether or not that information works for you or against you is, you know, it's just like if people make decisions in life, and it can work for them or against them, and you know, there are just those consequences. So I don't know if that's a clear enough answer, but I hope it kind of gives you some ideas, especially if you take the time to read this article and get the details of what she's talking about, right? So for me, you might say, well, if you're going for a job interview, you should always wear a suit, or you should always, you know, be casual. Guys, whether you choose to wear a suit or you choose to be casual, it's a decision that you need to make based on who you are and your characteristics. Same with the picture on your resume, on your resume. And once you make that decision, guys, it's what is going to represent you, right? It's what is going to represent you, right? And you have to just deal with that consequences, all right? But based on what we see, the trend is going towards, you know, pictures everywhere. I mean, I barely know of a social media platform without a picture there, right? So, and if pictures are everywhere, it's just a matter of time, if not yet, that, you know, sooner or later pictures will be a standard requirement on our resume. All right, guys, I hope this helps. Definitely check out this article. It was very interesting from a career perspective. You know, we talk about career tech tips and inspiration on this channel. I thought this was something very interesting. A lot of you guys might be on the fence wondering whether you should put your photo on your CV or your resume. I hope this gives you some pointers, especially if you go on to read this article for yourself. There will be a lot of lessons to learn, and whether you choose to put it on your resume or not, guys, all I want to do is wish you good luck, because I'm sure you're probably going to a job interview, or you're trying to use that resume for something to help your career. So just want to wish you good luck for that, and I will see you in the next video.